Hello friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm Handington, and today we're gonna look at the announcement for Cookie Run Kingdom. I've seen this already, but I want to go over it again because I am so excited. I've been looking so forward to when they're finally gonna release this game because it's a Cookie Run RPG, which we had elements of that with Cookie Wars. It was very unbalanced, but very well loved. It will be in our hearts, even though it was very flawed. The O has whatever that little fancy insignia is. Club? Clover? I don't know. The bear's jellies are lions, and the K has a little lump on it, sort of like the lion's hand. Very nice, very nice. It looks sort of like the shield has a belt. Yay! Gingerbrave opened his eyes and he's so small. Look at him! He's so small. He's just like, oh dear. This is not a copacetic situation. No, no. Back years ago, there was a Cookie Run fan comic, and the comic was of a Cookie Run kingdom, and it wasn't endorsed by Devsisters, but they showed it off and were like, this is so cool and amazing and awesome, and look at this thing, this is so cool, look at this comic, look. And it was a really awesome comic about Hero Cookie, who had a secret identity, and he helped out because the princess, she had a cookie, she was the princess of the Cookie Run Kingdom, and then the werewolf Cookie, who was like the danger to the town, and like Tiger Lily or somebody was just like, let's be friends, and it's like we understand, and it's like, hey, cool. And in that comic, they had a whole bunch of duplicate cookies, a lot of like Gingerbraves and Gingerbrights as the background characters, and then certain cookies were special. I don't know if there's gonna be multiple cookies, of like if there's going to be multiple Gingerbraves. It's still a little bit confusing. They're still not 100% clear on that. The closest thing we got was that there were multiple cookies in Cookie Wars, which happened, but like, it's usually the cookies that they'd fight. Like Gingerbrave never fought against the zombified Gingerbrave in the cutscenes. It was more that the Jelly Walkers were just other versions of the cookies, so that this way you'd understand their powers and it would be cool to have it used against you. So it's not necessarily that it was canon that there are multiple cookies, but I mean, when you open up the gacha, you get multiple copies of a cookie. No idea. Generally, it leans towards the cookies being unique and special, and there's just one. But also, if that's the case, how exactly does Gingerbrave escape from the oven for the first time as the backstory so many times, but there are also other cookies already out in the world? Like, I could understand that for the mythical cookies. There are a whole bunch of cookies out there who were created magically out of the world magic, like the Moonlight Cookie. She was like an ancient cookie because they made cookies. I think cookies in this world are just another being. They can come to life using magic, and the cookies are magic. I've talked too long without doing anything, and the screen went out. The canonicity of each of them seem a little bit different each time, so I believe each game has their own canon story of Gingerbrave escaping in a particular way and then leaving. Because sometimes, like with Ovenbreak, he's with friends, other times he's by himself and exploring around, like with Jelly Pop. But like you never exactly know, especially because in this canon, Gingerbrave escapes with other friends, so they're all the first ones who escaped the oven. But Gingerbrave is still known as the first cookie to escape the oven, and he might be the first one to have just escaped, and other cookies were baked from elsewhere. It also could be escaped from the witch's oven, and other cookies could have been baked from other ovens, and they escaped from those places, because, like, the Snow Sugar Cookie, she's just living out there in the world by herself already before Gingerbrave gets there. She just exists. She's just there. And it's like, did she escape from an oven? Was she baked? How did she come to be? What happened? Because a lot of cookies have powers, like Werewolf Cookie was because werewolf hair like fell into the dough and he became special. How often do these ingredients just happen to fall into the cookies to make the cookie dough? And there was an old animation that they had on their channel as well with Angel Cookie, and the witch had followed a recipe on how to make angel cookies, and like she just followed certain directions, and the angel cookies were there, and eventually Angel escaped. A lot of cookies end up escaping the witch multiple times. I guess she tries to make a new version of the cookie, and then the second time it might not be an accident. Which, I mean, the witch has always been known to be extremely cruel because she doesn't have to bring the cookies to life. She could keep them as just cookies, but she deliberately brings them to life to eat them because she's evil. So it's definitely plausible that he does, like, the cookies. It's definitely plausible that that's what happens with the cookies, where she makes a whole bunch of copies of them because she made a tray of like gingerbread, and there was another, oh, in Jelly Pop, that was another example. There was some other cookie that looked similar to gingerbread that the witch ate, and like I guess there are multiple gingerbreads. So the gingerbread is like the legendary first cookie, and that's probably why there are so many other origin stories for gingerbreads, because they're all just duplicates of gingerbreads. They're just other gingerbreads with other stories. Imagine if all the gingerbreads met, which again, with the Time Weaver scissors in CROB, Cookie Run Oven Break, that's the closest thing we get to seeing alternate gingerbreads, because you get to see the Easter egg of the original gingerbread from the original Oven Break, and then the CGI gingerbread from that event. That's the closest you'll get to having two gingerbreads on screen. But like, and that's using time, I guess, for whatever thing that they're doing, so it isn't necessarily a different universe, because that's the other example, that there's just multiple universes, and in one universe, Oven Break happened, and Gingerbread was the first one, and these other universes, Gingerbread is just known as the first, but other cookies had been around, and or also escaped before him. And I mean, they kind of nerfed Gingerbread because original Gingerbread was metal. He earned the moniker of Ginger Brave because it wasn't just being a swell guy overall, kind of reminding me of Sonic the Hedgehog a little bit, where it's like, these are my friends, gotta run fast. And it's sort of like that, but like the original Gingerbread, like he was ready to kill the witch from the inside. He goes back to face the thing that he fears most just because he wants to save someone, and fights the witch's heart, which is a graveyard full of like the souls of the cookies that she's killed. It's intense. And this gingerbread, he's just like, oh no, one of my fellow cookies, they were chomped by the witch. I gotta run away, gotta find a kingdom. We gotta find the kingdom to the nice cookie place, or we'll be they eat dough, which is like if they ate meat, like if people ate meat, it isn't necessarily a cookie. Yeah, and then they eat whatever their ingredient is because that sort of fuels them, as opposed to them. They're not cannibalistic cookies. They're fine. The exact story is always a little bit confusing, which you will see here. I have dragged this out way too long. I'm gonna cut this down. This trailer goes by very fast. So there's Gingerbread. He's small boy. Now he's scared boy. Look at all the other dead Gingerbraids. I love that one on the far left over there. The one that with the face that's just like, Mrr. That one's great. So this shows like how the first gingerbread came to be. The witch was baking cookies. She added magic powder accidentally. I guess also to the only one that has skull buttons. Or maybe the magic turned the little dollops into skull buttons, because the other cookies here, they have dollops on them. They don't have the skull buttons. So this shows like here is where Gingerbread accidentally got the magic powder instead of the ginger powder and became alive. And then he'd escape, and then the witch would make more cookies. But what you'll see in a little bit here kind of contradicts that. There's the thing, he punches a bunch, and look, you can, oh, well, it's very bright at the moment. Here, let's go back. There's the witch's hand, which is also cool to see. He's bursting out of there with a pile of jellies. Very nice. That's what you do. enters the jelly forest, which is the next place that he goes. He's running through sort of the trophy race areas. He's tired. Look at the leaves. And then he overlooks to see the kingdom. There's already a castle there. There's a whole jungle of stuff. Maybe they'll explain this in the game. This is just a promotional animation after all. And there's Strawberry, who gave the very cute, happy face smile, just like, we're an established colony. Welcome, friend. Welcome to our hive. Our little nest. A cookie nest. Aww. And he meets all the cookies who are already also here. Strawberry had escaped from the oven with the other cookies. And in Jelly Pop, Strawberry is also there, but in this version, she isn't. So I'm pretty sure there are just alternate universes in which this happens, and maybe Timekeeper Cookie is able to also access alternate universes. Where Gingerbrave was the only cookie, or the first cookie to escape, in which case that would be the original Love Break. I imagine they just shake it up where it's like, in this Cookie Run Kingdom specifically, Gingerbrave is not the first cookie. Maybe there are actually going to be multiple Gingerbraves, and this is another Gingerbrave. And that first one you see is separate from the one that you see now, where they're doing sort of a fake out, where like, that Gingerbrave who escaped the witches, that's the original one. Game theory time. That's a different Gingerbrave, and the one that we're following, who is running in the forest, is actually a Gingerbrave that came later. He's blowing to start the fire. They have jellied meat, and it looks like it's actual meat, but nope, that's jelly. We have all the cute little friends. Wizard, be careful, you're ice cream, and you're very close to the hot stuff over there. Yeah, we have Cherry Bomb, we have adorable Strawberry Cookie, that's the best. Yeah, we have Farmer. There are cotton candy sheep. Look at the cotton candy sheep. And on the very right corner, right next to the DU recorder nubby, is the wand that the Snow Sugar has. So Carrot, she's very determined. Oh, it moves over to the side. There she is. She's a sheep herder. She herds the sheep. And there's a little cake tart chicken, which is so cute. Right next to Night Cookie and Princess Cookie. Look at them all. Or maybe they're puppies? I don't know. Over there, that's the thief. It's Thief Cookie. It's the chili pepper cookie. And there's Strawberry again. Can I show you? There we go. There, she goes by very fast. She's sitting there. Look at her. She's ready to pounce at any time and to steal your dimes. Gingerbrave has a tiny house. They're neighbors. I love this. I want to play this so much. Look at the evil. Look at all the evil. Look at the cool evil. Look at the spoops. You get the evil in the darkness. You get that cookie who appeared for a second there, and I can't quite get the image right. We get skulls. The face of edginess. There we go. There they are. Yeah, there's a scythe. It's a candy scythe. Then we have what looks to be like a mushroom cookie. I like this design. It's just like, look at the mushroom. And we have a returning evil antagonist cookie, Pomegranate. There she is. Her evil time has finally come, rather than just being during that event of the Millennial Tree. And very fast there, I have to show you because it's vitally important. Oh, hello, you again. I like that they're adding in more evil henchman cookies where it's like, oh, yep, these are like villain cookies. Why exactly would they want to help the witch? Well, one of them is a witch herself. One of these cookies is a witch. And, ooh, Dark Choco, evil corrupted by the sword, fighting on the side of the bad. Maybe he's like Shadow the Hedgehog and an anti-hero, but sometimes evil. And over here, there's the prune juice cookie. She's a witch herself as a cookie. There she is. And now we have the elements of Harmony and Peridot's triangle on the right. Very important. And there we go. Look at all of them. Look, it's the heroes of destiny. There's Dark Choco again. Is that Dark Choco? Is it not Dark Choco? It's probably Dark Choco before he got corrupted, but with a different design. Ooh, is it Dark Choco's father, the parent? Who knows? They have confirmed that cookies do have parents. Pudding Cookie said that she had to go home to her parents at some point. there are cookie parents. They aren't just born children, which would make sense because they're baked. Or if they're made from the same dough, does that make them siblings? If so, is Gingerbrave siblings to the other cookies that were made in the batch with him? Because in the first original oven break, he had called the ones that weren't as lucky and were getting like much more baked and cracking and falling apart. He called them his brothers. Rest well, my brothers. Freedom for Gingerbraves. That's what he said. That he was. I like both versions of Gingerbrave. I like adorable Gingerbrave, and I like epic Gingerbrave. Energy drink cookie was the new cookie that was introduced, and then they have the what's this? The cookies that were like the intense versions of other cookies that were hardened by the war, like Wild Strawberry Cookie and the others. So that was the other variations. But this game looks like it's going to introduce a whole bunch of new characters specifically for this. In this, Jelly Pop introduced other cookies as like what you call them, NPCs briefly in Cookie Run Oven Break. So like artichoke cookie and the pinata cookie, they were all in the cutscenes of the other game, but they weren't actually playable cookies. So they added those into Jelly Pop, which is a cool way to be able to turn the NPCs into other stuff. But here, these look like they're gonna be like story cookies that you can play as. I don't know if the one on the right is. It looks a little bit like a redesigned Ananas Dragon cookie, the pineapple one. Or I don't know if these are they don't look like they're the dragons, right? Because the one with the hearts isn't Pattaya. Yeah, I don't know why I thought they were gonna be the dragons. Anyway, there's a sage cookie. There's all a whole bunch of them. Look, they're turning around. I love them all. Yay! Ooh, look into his eyes. Oh, now they're battling. Look, it's a boar made of sweets, a swirly boar, and there's a swirly hammer, and then little angry cake wolves and the jelly bugs, which are a known enemy of the cookies. And look, there they go. It's fighting, and they're all angry, and they're all gonna go blast, and then pichu, and then Wizard's using his magic with a rune in his eye. Ooh. And then she gets ready to blast. Look at her angry face. There she goes. Go, blow him up. Yep, you're chucking him. Look at her arm. Look at her arm. Look at that still freeze frame. I love this image. Somebody make this their background art. Just blurry strawberry bomb that's spinning around with the smudge effects. Her arm is just a noodle lump. And she just looks like she's jumping through the sky. Like, yeah! I love this. And there we go, and there's Ginger Brave. He's running towards the camera, all brave-like. Oh no, it looks like he's fallen over. Oh no, he didn't fall over. There he is. We got angry Ginger Brave. He's leaping. He's whacking all of the wildlife critters. There he goes. Oh, she's fighting on the side of justice. We have the boy duo. We have angry lad and milk toast, and we have muscle, and we have the other divine cookies. We have musket cookie, mustard musket cookie. That's the combination. That's the correlation I'm making. Hook Gingerbrave is just like, I don't need to fight today. I didn't sign up for this. I just want a happy time with the cookie friends and me. I just want to raise sheep. And then there they go. There's the musket cookie. And then there's musket again, and musket a third time. There's a magic user. There's a shield and sword. And there's Gingerbrave. No, he fell over. He dropped your candy cane. Look at the cake dragon, and there's the evil witch. Oh no, how could they do this? But with the power of our friends by our side, nothing is impossible. Oh. Look at that. And the legendaries come in. And then the legendaries are magical. And they do magic things. There's Mint Choco, but we're going to go back a second. They're so magical. Look, you can see the side of Gingerbrave. I love that they're drawn flat when they're sideways. Look, he's epically ready to fight with the magic on their side. No, get back here. I want to look at all of the cookies in every frame. This video has to take an eternity. Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. So we have, is that princess on the left? Can't quite get it exactly. The right timing for the pause. Let's try it again. Alright, it becomes the light bright screen. There we go. Oh, that's is that a new cookie being introduced? It looks sort of like a slight redesign of Apple, but I don't think that's the case. I think that's a new cookie. Look at the magic being blasted in. Yay! Is that a secret? And then there's, is that Clover Cookie? Yes, that's Clover Cookie, because that's a pre-order, pre-registration bonus. Get it now if you can. I The only time I think about clovers on food is like with St. Patrick's Day, and I guess with an occasional dessert here or there, like if it's a little candy, like Alchemy, the Pokemon. But other than that, it's so cool. Look, look, it's a bard. It's the bard. That's a clover bard, like D&D, the bard. It's a bard. It's an RPG game with the Cookie Run characters. We have Sparkling Cookie and Orange Cookie, and they're happy in the background. We have Mint Choco coming into frame. We have Mint Choco in the middle of the frame. We have the goth mom dragging the adventurer Cookie with her. Look, there she is. He's just like, I don't want to go. No. And she's just like, come on. Come on, honey. We have to go. We have to go now. We have responsibilities. I don't want responsibilities. I want an adventure. Come on. We have to take care of the house. No. And then there he is. And then we have Pancake Cookie being chased by Lime Cookie. I guess they're frolicking to have fun. There's Alchemist Cookie, Full Metal Alchemist Cookie. We have they're both small and both angry. And then we have Night Cookie and Princess Cookie, who's the princess of the Cookie Run Kingdom. Who's the king of the Cookie Run Kingdom? Maybe he'll be introduced in the game. Who's the queen of the Cookie Run Kingdom? Does Princess Cookie become the queen of this game? Is it a matriarchy? What's gonna happen? We'll have to see when the game starts. Look, she's like, oh, hello and welcome, and he's like, no, come on. And then Gingerbrave's like, yay, Cookie Run Kingdom, Cookie Run Kingdom. There it is. Look at the shine as it fades into the darkness. Yeah. Really hope Coco is whatever good grade cookie in this game. I hope she's in there. Mint Choco is in there. I hope Coco is somehow able to be in the game. I don't know exactly what role she'd play. Probably she'd have hot cocoa, and she might be a healer because she could give cocoa to other people. That would make sense. We have Mint Choco in the game. We need them together. You can't just have Mint Choco in the game without Coco Cookie. You can't do that. You can't do that to my lad over here. Come on. We need Coco. She's hopefully confirmed with the picture from before. That is all I'm going to go by. She's not in the trailer, but we can hope. Coco for life. And the 4 is the number 4, not to be confused with the actual grammatical spelling, F-O-R. These are my happy, excited reactions to this. I am looking forward to this. And if you stayed for the entire thing, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I really do. I'm just a nerd, and I'm very excited about Cookie Run Kingdom, and I need to make more space on my phone so I can download this game the day it comes out. And you bet whatever ends up happening, whenever it ends up being released, I don't know exactly the release date. I think it's in mid-December. Whenever it's going to come out, you can bet I am going to immediately start up with a series of it. I am 100% doing that, so please make sure to tune into that whenever it ends up happening. Super excited. Totally on board with this. Been looking forward to this for a long time, ever since the teaser was announced a year or two ago. So this is my overly long analysis video of a 1-minute video that I've been able to stretch out to who knows how long. Thank you, friends, but I believe it's that time again. If you like what I do, don't be shy to give a thumbs up. Definitely give a sub if you want more Cookie Run stuff from me. Have a pleasant day, everyone, and this is Handington, signing off. Bye!